One, don't get too involved with a girl too fast. The bitches will come later. Don't get married or fall in love with a girl too fucking fast. The girls will slow you down. Families will slow you down. It's cool to have kids and this and that, but families will really slow you down. They're good to have, but they will slow you down because they don't understand what's going on. The second one will be just keep friends about your business. Like I said once before, don't go into business with friends. That'll fuck you up, and you'll end up losing somebody that you really care for and that you really love. And this and that. Don't go into business with friends. 3 is you gotta stay focused. Don't go to clubs. Don't move out of town to a different city because that's gonna fuck your head up and change your sound because you're gonna try to do what you see them niggas doing. You know what I'm saying? Stay focused. You need to stay in your own area. And don't try to do what downside rappers doing or West Coast rappers doing or this person doing just because they own at the time. Stay with your same sound. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to come through. We was the first motherfuckers to make crunk music, and we could never get a record deal because the people didn't believe in crunk music back then. We used to have to sign a contract saying that we wouldn't tear the club up, or they was going to take $500 out of our check. The $500 to let you know how much we were getting for a show. Back then, nigga wasn't getting over probably a couple of thousand. But that's the days of crunk back then. We couldn't even tear the club up. But right now, everybody doing crunk music, so you can go in there, you can say, what the fuck? You can say, shoot a motherfucker. And they be like, all right, cool, I want to book you for another show next week. I want somebody to get shot at my club. But back in the day, niggas didn't want that to happen because there wasn't no such thing as that. So when you said, if you playing Quiet on the set by NWA or some shit, and then you come in and tear the club up, somebody get their ass kicked, get busted in the head, the club owner get scared, like, what the fuck made this shit happen? That's number 3. And number 4 is, don't do drugs. Drugs will fuck you up. Don't do drugs. You know you listen to 3 6 Mafia talking about doing drugs all the time. There's a time to do drugs and there's a time not to do drugs. A lot of you motherfuckers do drugs at the wrong time. Don't do drugs. Drugs is fucked up. Don't do drugs. Yeah. Never go into business with friends, even though you might trust your boys or think that, yeah, this is my partner and this and that, and I want to be with him and he gonna have my back. You better go into business with a nigga you never met better than you are with a friend. It might sound crazy, but that's the truth. Never go into business with a friend, for sure. Yeah, we kept our sound the same. A lot of people changed their sound. We kept our sound the same. A lot of people change their sound when, like I said, people get to moving out of town to different areas. They make more money. They move here and move there. And this person get in their area and this and that. And they go to the clubs. But you got to stay out of clubs. That's another thing. Fuck a club. You got to stay out of clubs. Fuck clubs. Only time I go in the clubs is when a motherfucker got a check from me for $40,000 or more. That's the only time you're going to give me in the club. Other than that, I don't go to no clubs. Fuck a club. Clubs will throw you out. You get to hearing them playing all this shit and this and that now, playing the local guys and this and that, which that's good. It's good for the local guys that they rocking the club. But if you not from there, it's gonna mess your head up. It's gonna make you want to sound like that man. And you don't want to sound like that man. You want to stay sound like you sound, originally sound. You got to keep it real for your family and your area code. That's it. So we keep our sound the same. If it ain't broke, we don't fix it.